What is going on, everybody? As always, y'all already know, stay tuned for the AEW Dynamite review. I got news on Punk versus Hangman, what was supposed to happen and what didn't happen, the beef that's going on there. We got AEW Dynamite to talk about, and the cleaner is back in town. Stay tuned, everybody. We are about to go live. You heard me? Catch me in a minute.
You're listening to the What the Wrestling Podcast, the show that brings you all things wrestling with your host, RJD.
Oh, you already know what time it is. You guys already know AEW review is here. And man, we got a newsworthy show for you guys today. So before anything else, let's not waste any more time. Let's go. Yes, yes, yes. 'Tis I, RJD here. Welcome to What the Wrestling. I am your host, as always. And man, oh man, woo, probably one of the top 5 Dynamites happened last night. But it was not without controversy. There was a hell of a lot that happened, and there's so much going on, so much news, so confusing. I have no idea what the hell to talk about first, but I know what I will talk about first. Hit the goddamn like button. Come on, like, comment, share, and subscribe to the channel. Follow me, RJD. RJD199, RJD underscore. Always mess that up. RJD underscore 199 on Instagram, RJ699 on Twitter, RJD199 on Snapchat. But most importantly, follow What the Wrestling on Facebook and YouTube and TikTok. Also follow What the Wrestling on Spotify and Anchor. Got some new things going on with the Spotify, so subscribe to the channel. For all you guys who listen and don't watch me on YouTube, hit the sub on YouTube as well, but subscribe to the channel on Spotify and on Anchor. Follow your boy. Now, moving forward, man, so there's a lot of controversy going on after last night. I am going to talk about what's going on with Punk and Hangman and what happened at the end of the show. So if I jump around, you know I don't normally jump around on Wednesdays, but we're going to jump around today like it's Monday Night Raw, baby. So, listen. If you watched the show last night, or if you haven't watched the show, spoiler, or 3, 2, 1, okay. Anyway, Hangman, CM Punk came out, it opened the show, and he had the World Heavyweight title. Great. Now, when he came out, he said, I got some important news to settle, and I got some not so important news to settle. And he said, let's get the unimportant stuff out of the way. He said, where are we at? There's a certain person who is from around here who wants a rematch. So you know what? Here's your rematch. You want your rematch? I'm calling your ass out right now. And I was like, wait, what? He was like, Hangman, let's go. You got it right now. Bring your ass out here. Page obviously doesn't come out because, as we later found out, he wasn't scheduled to come out. And he said, yeah, that's not cowboy shit. That's coward shit. He said, and I was like, oh, shit. Okay, Punk. That's how we feeling? And if you look at my Twitter, I put Punk woke up and chose violence. Shout out to my Game of Thrones heads. I mean, goddamn. And let's talk about this first, and I'll get into the Game of Thrones shit. But Punk said the apology needs to be just as public as the discretion or some shit he said. And I was like, what the hell is he talking about?
Stupid.
Like, I'm sitting there feeling extra dumb. But then I understood. We later found out, as of today, early this morning, that Punk is mad at the Hangman. So I'm like, what? Like Scooby-Doo voice. I'm like, what the hell is this? Why would Punk be mad at the Hangman? So apparently, now this is all speculation. There are people reporting this out there. Go Google it, look it up yourself. But there are people reporting, and even Brian Alvarez commented on it. Dave Meltzer talked about it briefly. That Punk is mad at Hangman for something that he put in a promo about Colt Cabana when they were feuding. Now, if we all recall, they feuded a while ago. So why would you just be bringing this up now? And he said, listen, I've been away for a long time, and I've thought about it. Like, after he broke his foot, we didn't see Punk. After that night, MJF cut that pipe bomb, we didn't see Punk. Punk hasn't been on TV. So it's been a while. So, you know, listen, love him or hate him, Punk is the type of brother who holds grudges. If he's mad at your ass, he's mad at you. And that's a fact. He will get mad and get even if he can. And, you know, it may be petty, but it is what it is. So he was mad at the Colt Cabana line or whatever, so he took this time to go out there and make Hangman look stupid. And in doing so, he went into business for himself, as put it by Meltzer and Alvarez and a bunch of other people. So this is really interesting, and let me tell you why. Because Punk, this makes me think about a lot of things. And I'm going to go off, so I need y'all to stay with me, okay? Focus. Punk was brought in because, A, he hasn't wrestled in 10 years, something like that. I forget. He hasn't wrestled in a hell of a long time. It's a big deal that he came back. And it's a big deal that he came back to AEW. He's supposed to be a ratings draw, a needle mover, for lack of the better word. And AEW's show and product is fantastic and is better off with CM Punk and Danielson and all these other guys that they've brought in. The product is better off. The matches are great. Tony Khan is booking good stories. And Tony Khan has been, AEW rather, is known to have long-term stories. Hangman took him 2 goddamn years to get to the title. Wardlow, it took Wardlow 3 years to finally, 2.5 years, 3 years to break away from MJF. Slowly, turning. This is what they've done. They've got these long-term stories, and then we have the payoff at the end. It's a beautiful thing. We love it. Hangman, Wardlow, 2 perfect examples. But the fact that they brought in Punk and the ratings haven't been above 1 million in a while. They hovering around 950,000 to 999,000 viewers total. They haven't cracked 1 million in a little while. And this begs to differ. Like, yes, they've been hit with the injury bug, and yes, they've been floating over 1 million. But it's been a little while. And now the people are starting to come back. We got the return of Kenny tonight. We got CM Punk back now. We got Danielson back. Miro's back. We got a bunch of people back that we know and love. It makes me think, All of these people are back. They still can't get above 1 million consistently. Punk is supposed to be like the big draw. They're paying this guy all this money so that he can go out there and be a ratings draw. Is there any validity to what MJF has said in his pipe bomb? Makes you think about it. His gripe, you're bringing in all these WWE guys and you're paying them all this money, but when I'm asking for more money, you're not giving me more money. And he's like, get the fuck out of here! And I understand his point. I understand completely why he feels that way. Him, Hangman, Wardlow, day ones, they've been busting their ass since day one. And all these WWE guys, although, do they deserve the money? I believe so. Do they bring star power? I believe so. But you don't think that would make the day ones feel a certain type of way?
Surprise, motherfucker.
It wouldn't shock me if it does. So, if Hangman went into business, if he mentioned Cole Cabana, well, I believe he did. If he mentioned Cabana, because remember, peep this. Remember when Hangman cut his promo, like, oh, you're just putting on the act. You think you're supposed to be here for the young guys, but really you're just here for the money and blah, blah, blah. Everybody was like, what the hell are you talking about? We haven't heard no such thing about Punk having any issues backstage. Could he be strong-arming? Tony Khan? Because the stories of reports from backstage saying that he told people backstage, the disrespect was so egregious to him that he went and talked to some higher ups, and he said, I ain't losing to him. I'm not losing to Hangman. So that right there, red flag. Now, is Hangman gonna go out there after getting called out when he's not scripted to go on TV? He's not scripted to be out there. Is he gonna go out there and talk shit? No, because he'd be fired on the spot. You're just gonna go out there on live TV and you're not even scheduled to be on the show, and you're just gonna go out there like you run shit? Man, TK would have been like, get the fuck out of here! With a little side order of,
stop it. Get some help.
But this brings up a lot of problems. CM Punk talking about I'll walk out and talking about walkouts and all this other shit. If this is true, this is not good. This is not good. First of all,
how dare you
talk about walking out because you tight. He mentioned the line. Listen, if you and Hangman need to get locked in a room for 10 minutes, you settle it that way. Now, I think it was Meltzer who was like, or Alvarez who was like, it was called unprofessional on both sides. Punk, I guess, whatever happened with him, with the line about Cabana or whatever, it wasn't cleared with Punk and he got upset. He called it unprofessional, supposedly, allegedly. And then everybody is saying what Punk did last night, calling Hangman out, making Hangman look like a punk, is also unprofessional, allegedly. So there's fault on both sides here. Nobody's squeaky clean. And honestly, TK, I need you to step to the front of the congregation, brother man.
Stop it. Get some help.
My man, this is AEW. You are TK. You are the boss. And the place that comes to be the boss. You need to get a handle on this shit, bruh. TK needs to come in there, talk to everybody and say, listen, between MJF doing a missing a signing, CM Punk talking about I ain't losing to him, I'm walking out. Nah, fam. And then now we're getting a world title shot on next Wednesday's Dynamite. What?
Stupid.
The biggest match in AEW that they can make is the interim champion versus the regular champion. They cannot make a bigger match than that. And as of yesterday, with them, both those dudes hyping up the match as much as it can be hyped up, you could have got 3-4 weeks of build out of this all the way up until All Out. But they're doing it next week? Why would they be hot-shotting the title like this? Why would they push this all the way up? You got people talking about, oh, Hangman might get involved. You got people talking about, oh, MJF might get involved. But why is TK really, really putting this match on free TV? First of all, epic L for TK. Listen, I don't judge AEW often because AEW does a lot right than it does wrong, but this is dumb. There's no good outcome that can come. Let me not say no good outcome. That would be wrong to say. But there's very few outcomes good that can happen here. You have, if this match is going to happen, so it's happening, ends in DQ, trash.
Stupid.
If MJF causes a DQ, trash.
Stupid.
If this match, if Moxley loses, okay, it's a good outcome, but you should have had this on the pay-per-view.
Stupid.
If CM Punk loses, it's a good outcome, but you could have had this on the pay-per-view.
Stupid.
Like, it's all around dumb. Now, if you somehow make this a triple threat match, if you make it a triple threat match, it probably means it's going to end in a no contest or a DQ.
Stupid.
Now, I like a triple threat.
Oh, yeah.
But still, it's still not, it's not feasible how they went about it. So, but then again, Moxley is having the run of his life. Moxley right now is the MVP. He's holding it down, the world title. The crowd is firmly behind this brother. CM Punk coming off a little heelish. That's fine. Plays a great heel. People still love him. We still love him. I'm assuming he's 100%. I'm assuming he's 80% healthy, which is better than most people's 100%. And he knows how to have a match. And while he's hurt, and still put on a good match. Because if he wasn't all the way ready to come back, they wouldn't be doing this shit next week. So all of that, oh, he's hurt, he can't carry a match, so it's only going to be like 10 minutes and then somebody's going to DQ. I don't think that's correct. Because why would he come back? Why would he come back if he is not ready to come back and he can't have a match and he can't continue the story? That would be dumb, because once you start it, you're going to have to stop it because you get hurt again because you're not ready, and then we got to stop it for another 4 months. That don't make sense. So I think if he's not 100% or 90%, he's 80%, which is good enough to come back and have a good match. Because CM Punk is a pro, he knows how to work. But this whole thing bothers me right now about AEW, because AEW has been known for the backstage camaraderie between the talent. Everybody is always saying how great the atmosphere is. Everybody that leaves WWE says it was so toxic under Vince McMahon. Then they go to AEW and they're like, oh my God, I could breathe a breath of fresh air. But little by little, we're starting to see the chinks in the armor show that AEW is not the cozy, buttery place that everybody thinks it is. It has its fair share of backstage problems. And these are becoming very apparent, and they're starting to bleed off on screen. Now, first things first. If I'm Tony Khan, I'm having a meeting.
How dare you?
And I'm talking to Punk privately, and I'm like, brother, man. That threatening to walk out shit?
Fuck this shit, I'm out.
Nah, fam, we not doing that. We not doing that. I got you for about 2.5 more years. I don't want to ever hear that bullshit again. I am a stand-up guy. You are a stand-up guy. Don't ever threaten to walk out and strong-arm me. Because if he does that shit again, you got to tell him to his fucking face, I will fire your ass if you threaten to walk out on me again. Because they're paying Punk a whole lot of money. Punk, I'm positive, got a big, big bag. So if this is true, allegedly, we're not going to say that he did say this because we don't know. But if this is true, that he threatened walking out or whatever, kill that noise. If that meeting or conversation hasn't been had, it needs to be had immediately. That's first. Second thing, we got people going into business for themselves. Listen, WWE is very restricted in what you can say. You have to have a written freaking promo. A lot of the times, it's mostly scripted. Under Vince McMahon, during his era, promos come off robotic, like they're talking like this and reading from a script. Trash. A lot of people can't do that garbage. Yeah, you got the Kevin Owens and the John Cenas and the guys who know how to do it, and the Seth Rollins and the Codys. They know how to do that. Not everybody knows how to do that. Some people just need to be themselves. So, AEW, even Bryan Danielson, I remember hearing a story when he first got there. He was like, so, what do I say? And they're like, say whatever you want. Just make sure you say this, this, and this. He's like, what? He's like, wait, say whatever I want. So, it's different. And I like it. I like it. I like the fact that they have more creative freedom because people get to show their creativity and they get to be themselves and get over, which is what everybody wants. So I think that's dope. But the problem is, people might be abusing their freedom. That freedom that they get, they might be abusing it. Case in point, why is it every other week on Dynamite they're rushing off the air? At the end of this show, you had Dragon Lee getting attacked by Andrade El Idolo. But we don't even see what happened. He took his damn mask off. That's a big deal. But we didn't even see what happened. Didn't even have time for it to marinate because the goddamn show went off the air. Trash. Epic fail. We're going to hit the button on that. And you know why? Because people ran long. You don't ever see that in WWE with all of their faults. You might see it in WrestleMania where a match gets cut short because there's so many matches, they have so many video packages, but on that day-to-day TV show, that show ended and things marinated the way they were supposed to. Say what you want about WWE. I love both companies. Y'all know that. But TK needs to be like, yo, listen, if I say go 8 minutes, go 8 minutes. If I say go 10 minutes, go 10 minutes. Why is a 10-minute segment going 13 minutes? Why is a 5-minute segment going 8 minutes? They need to get a handle on this time shit. They got the run over. Don't they have a run over? They got an extra block of time and they still run short sometimes. What are we doing?
Nope.
What are we doing? And that, I watch football, y'all. Obviously, I watch sports. Y'all know that. And a lot of times I've heard coaches say, you could tell the good coach teams by the penalties that they have. A well-coached team is not going to have a lot of penalties. And you see that in the playoffs. When you see a well-coached team, a well-disciplined team in the Super Bowl, do you see penalty? Do you see that? No. You don't see that.
Nope.
But in the teams that's trash, 3-12, 1-6, 1-15, 8-8, 7-9, a lot of those teams have problems. One of the problems, penalties. Everything rises and falls on leadership, ladies and gentlemen. And Tony Khan needs to be a fan, but also be a boss. Because this shit spilling over into the media. Now listen, things are going to leak out. It happens. I understand. But this shit spilling over into the media and guys beefing with each other, talk about walkouts and threatening all this, and, oh, I'm not losing to him. And then, and who knows? He probably was going to be Hangman anyway, because that's where the story was going. The story is naturally going and progressing to MJF. So he was probably going to be Hangman anyway. But you're going to walk out.
Stop it. Get some help.
Bro, I'll kick you out the door.
Get the fuck out of here!
This does not look good for AEW because there's a lot of things that's happening right now. And it's starting to swing the pendulum back. A lot of the fans I'm going back to look at WWE because Vince is gone and Triple H is taking over. And AEW's fine. They're not going anywhere as of yet. But they need to get a handle on this. And they need to get right. Because all of the nonsense that's happening is not good for business. Not even a little bit. You got disgruntled. Think about what Swole said. Let's go back. Let's think about what Swole said. Let's think about what other people have said. Jonathan Gresham. No communication between talent and TK. And then all of a sudden, he puts people involved of talent relations. Which means there was no guy involved of talent relations beforehand. You got Swole talking about, oh, there's really no structure. I loved it there, but it was kind of a free-for-all. Starting to spell out. We're starting to see it. So a lot of the AEW gripes that people are having, you're starting to see them slowly come to light. You're starting to see it, and it's not a good thing at all. He's just now hiring people for this and this and this. Which is good. You need people in those positions. I need to turn my fan on. I'm hot. You need people in those positions. So I ain't mad at it. But what I'm saying is, you can't sit up here as I try to put on my fan because I'm barbecuing myself right now. You can't sit up here and say, oh, AEW this, AEW that. AEW's perfect. No, the hell they not. Oh, my fan is broken. Awesome. Great. Fan is broken.
Emotional damage.
That just annoyed the shit out of me, but it's all good. So, there's a lot going on with the Hangman. There's a lot going on with Punk. MJF is still looming in the back, looking like Dexter Loomis in the back, creeping. So we don't know what's going to happen with him.
Surprise, motherfucker.
He could just show up and say surprise. So this is a thing that we have to keep our eye on. This is a thing that can be corrected. A lot of the nonsense can be avoided. But TK, my man, you got to get a handle on this. It got to come from the top. If it don't come from the top, it's going to be a problem. So, let's get back into Mr. Punk. So Punk came out, talked to Mox, said he knows what it's like. He said, he said Mox has always been the third best player. He said he's the third best person in his group. That's a trait that he shares once again. He says, he said he's the third best guy in his own group. It's a recurring theme in his career. He says Eddie Kingston is the third best Eddie and second best Kingston he's ever been in the locker room with. And he said, tell me where's the lie. He kept saying, tell me where's the lie. This brought out Mox, and Mox was like, oh my God, Punk is gonna throw a pipe bomb. Oh my God. So everybody was laughing at that. Everybody was like, oh, everybody laughed and was like, so not only did CM Punk come out and choose violence, Mox came out and chose violence too. So Mox says, you think that microphone is power, but this is the real world. And he spits on the mic. He said that mic don't mean shit. He said, your title don't mean shit. My title don't mean shit until I beat you, to be fair. And then he says, I'm the heart and soul of this company. And then CM Punk said, great, I'll be the dollars and cents. I was like, oh. Good line, Mr. Punk. Good line. I like that line. That was dope. So then he says, you know what? You can prove me wrong, but let's have a fight right now. And I bet you ain't going to do shit. So he went up in his face. They fake headbutted. They brawled around the ring, pull-up-out brawl. That was pretty cool to see. It was a very good pull-up-out brawl. Sometimes these pull-up-out brawls are hit or miss. This one was very good. And then that is how that segment ended. Well, Powerhouse Hobbs said Ricky Starks is a loser, and he was happy to be a loser. He was happy he lost. That's why he attacked him. He said he got something for QT Marshall as well. And yeah, shout out to Powerhouse Hobbs. Good to see him getting a push. Now, before I get back, let me get into this House of Dragon shit. Listen.
You ain't got the answers, man. You ain't got the answers.
I don't got the answers as to why we saw 18 commercial breaks during the American Dragon Bryan Danielson versus the Red Death Daniel Garcia, the Dragon Slayer. Why do we have 15 commercial breaks? I am excited for Game of Thrones, the prequel. I like Game of Thrones. I didn't need to see 1,000 Game of Thrones ads during this match. I get it. You got to pay the bills. But goddamn. This took away from the match for me because it was like, yo, every time I got excited, it was a goddamn commercial break. Trash. We first fall Daniel Garcia, power driver, and the what the hell is that move called? The Dragon Sleeper. There you go. I'm like, what the hell is that move called? I got stupid for a minute.
Stupid.
Yeah, Dragon Sleeper. That's the first fall. Bryan had a good handle on this match until they went to the outside and it kind of got changed back. He got back inside, hit him with the power driver, and that was all she wrote. The second one, he almost got counted out and he got beat up again, but he tried to do the Dragon Sleeper again and got reversed into a pinning predicament, and he wins the second fall, Bryan Danielson. Then the third fall, they just beat the holy hell out of each other. Both people are bleeding. They're trading punches. They're trading kicks. They're effing each other up. But in the end, we had the label lock. We had a transition from an arm bar to a triangle into a fake, try to powerbomb him to a label lock to a Gargano escape to the label lock. He got on the label lock and beat him up. After the match, he's clapping. He's bigging up Danny Garcia. He's like, yeah, you see that? You see that? Jericho, who was out there on commentary, went down and beat up Danielson, hit him in the back of the head.
Stupid.
Daniel Garcia saves him. Now the crowd is on his side, and they're like, Garcia, and they're like, you're a wrestler. I'm not gonna lie. Shout out to that crowd. That crowd was dope. They would definitely get a Don DeMarco for that. That was dope. Jericho then tells Danny Garcia, you better think about this. Danny Garcia just stuck like he's like, what? I don't know. We just had a great match, but yeah, good storytelling. Love it. Next, we have Swerve and Our Glory interview with Private Party. What the hell happened to Private Party?
Nope.
Man, Private Party like peaked when they won that 8th seed versus that number 1 seed for the tag team tournament 3 years ago. That was their peak. And then they've slowly been on a decline like Bitcoin from 60 to 20,000. I swear to God, it's crazy. Keith Lee and Swerve basically said we're gonna beat them up. Cool. Tony Nese comes out, and then Jon Moxley comes out,
Surprise, motherfucker.
beats him up, comes down to the ring, and he says, CM Punk, I'm tired of waiting. If you want to unify the belts, let's get this shit over with.
You activated my trap card.
CM Punk comes down, and they brawl again. They have themselves another pull-apart brawl, which was great. We had Claudio out there, Wheeler Yuta out there. Finally, Moxley calms down after Claudio just grabs him, and he's like, yo, bro, I'm the Swiss Superman. You're not stronger than me. Relax. So he calmed him down. That was great. We also had Ricky the Dragon Steamboat out there as the ring bell guy for the Daniel Garcia match. He had an altercation with Chris Jericho backstage. He said, "Need to let that boy do him," basically. And Jericho says, "I haven't liked you since 2009, since we fought." And then Jericho says, "You better stay out of my business." And then he said, "Listen." I think Magic Mike said, "Yo, listen, Steamboat, stay out of his business, okay?" I can't do that accent like he can, but that was pretty cool. He chopped him in the throat. I was like, "Diablo, coño." Good stuff. And for you getting chopped in the throat.
Stupid.
That was all she wrote. Then we had the Ass Boys versus the Varsity Blondes. They basically squashed them in about 10 seconds. And then Billy Gunn says, listen, man, I'm so proud of you guys. I'm proud to be your dad. Finally, I'm glad we got back on the same page. I'm proud of y'all. And then here comes Stokely Hathaway walking down. So everybody's like, what the hell? And then
Shots fired. Shots fired.
Surprise, motherfucker.
the Ass Boys turn on their father. They start beating the hell out of him. Now listen, what man hasn't had a confrontation with his dad? I mean, that's a story as old as time. So they could easily tell that story. But then here comes Max Caster and Bowens. The Acclaim come down and they save Daddy Ass. So Bowens, after the heels, the Ass Boys run out of there, Bowens says, scissor me, Daddy Ass. And he scissors him and the crowd goes wild. Next, we have Death Triangle talking about how they're going to beat the United Empire. Pac says Will Ospreay thinks he's the best in Britain, but he's not. Then we had Jungle Boy. Jungle Boy comes out there and he says he can't wear his Christian is a, P-U-S-S-Y shirt because he got in trouble. And they asked him never to wear it again. And I think that's legit. I think they legit said don't wear that ever again. So we got some realism here. So he talks some junk. Out comes Christian. Christian says, listen, man, look at you all grown up talking for yourself. I look at you as my son. I look at you as my son. You said some things you didn't mean. I said some things I didn't mean. Now listen, let's not be stupid here.
You stupid.
Come get with me and I could bring you to higher heights than you've ever had before. I got your back. And your boy thought about it and he was like,
Get the fuck out of here.
and he beat the holy hell out of Christian and then put his arm through the ring steps or killed this guy. Just beat the holy hell out of him. Great. Still think he's losing at the pay-per-view though, but that's just me. Then we had FTR and Wardlow cut a promo. FTR said there's no way they'll let Wardlow get jumped. Top guys out. And nobody messes with the Pinnacle because when you're in a Pinnacle, you're always on top. And Wardlow tells Stenham Singh that it doesn't matter how big you are, everybody gets powerbombed. Can't wait for him to powerbomb that 7'3" massive human being. It's gonna be cool. Then we have Kylan King versus Tony Storm. My oh my. AEW has a women's division problem. It is fact and it is here. Here's the problem.
Shots fired. Shots fired.
If you want your women's division to matter, you have to actually put the women on TV. You put these women in a tough spot, and then you get mad when they don't get over. What happened to Thunder Rosa? You built up Britt Baker. She ran crazy, had a good run with the title, made it mean something. You had Thunder Rosa chasing and chasing for a goddamn year. She finally gets the belt. We don't see the belt on TV. We rarely see it. We rarely see even Jade. We see Jade once in a while, but if she's not saying, I'm that bitch, she ain't really wrestling a hell of a lot. And then, when's the last time we seen the women's title defended? I mean, yeah, we saw it defended, a week or two ago. But before that, Thunder Rosa's just cutting promos. We don't see hardly any women on this show. Even when Triple H was doing NXT Black and Gold, that women's division mattered. Ask Asuka, ask Kairi Sane, ask Bianca Belair, ask Rhea Ripley, ask Shayna Baszler, ask Sasha Banks and Bayley. They put emphasis on the women. I'm not saying you gotta have the women main event like he did, but what I'm saying is, goddamn, put them on TV. Why haven't I seen Ember Moon on TV? Why haven't I seen? Now listen, I know Stat is injured and that sucks because I love Statlander. I think she's awesome. She's probably going to win the title now. She's going to be gone for another damn year. Unfortunately, the blown ACL. But why haven't we seen these women? Thunder Rosa, we hardly see her. Tony Storm. Where's Britt Baker? Is she hurt? Why is she not on TV? Jamie Hayter, awesome in the ring. Besides that one great match all 4 of these ladies had, when's the last time you seen them? It's getting windy now. We don't see them like that. It's like they hardly do anything with the women. I mean, at least they give the women time to wrestle, but come on, man. Epic fail. No, we're not going to do this. Oh, no. Stay there, don't move. So, that happened. Tony Storm wins by DDT, elevated DDT pinfall. Good match. Then we had La Fación en Ogana. Oh, man.
Stupid.
La Fación Ingobernable. Andrade El Idolo, Dragon Lee, and Rush versus the Elite. The Young Bucks and a returning Kenny Omega from North Carolina. No, he's not from North Carolina. I just wanted to do that. Trios tournament first round match. This was a hell of a match. Good to see Kenny Omega back. He was sporting a sling for his shoulder. He was wearing a shirt. I don't know if that's because I'm sure he's in shape. Maybe he's not in as great a shape as he wants to be in. I don't know. But I'm sure he'll get back into ring shape eventually. He says after the match when they were off the air, he says it's going to take him a while to get back to normal, to shake off the ring rust. But he won with a wicked knee to the face, V-trigger, and then a one-winged angel for the win. He was talking to Dragon Lee after the match. I'm assuming he was apologizing to him for kneeing the shit out of him in the face. Because when he hit that V-trigger, I was like, Jesus Christ. I was just like, man.
How about no?
Nah, fam. Man, I felt sorry for Dragon Lee. It was like, Dragon Lee, my brother. I hope he didn't bust the lip or, hurt your jaw. Because it looked like he took every bit of that V-trigger. The first one, not the knee to not the V-trigger, the second one. But one-winged angel, after the match, Andrade underhooks Dragon Lee's mask, gives him the hammerlock DDT, and they fly off the air. Didn't have enough time to marinate, didn't really hit like that because they went off the air rather abruptly, so that happened. But this was a very excellent show, but a very newsworthy show coming from the top. So what's going to happen with Punk? What's going to happen with Hangman? What's going to happen with Omega? Even though Omega's not in the title, I'm just saying Omega's back. He's obviously not 100% yet. So let's see. Let's see how it plays out. We're getting the title match next week. Next week is going to be a very important Dynamite. They better get over 1 million views next week for that match. Because if you couldn't even get over 1 million views on TV and you gave that match away for free, that's bad. Not a good look whatsoever. So we'll see what happens. Other than that, I am out of here. I don't know what the hell's going on with that dog across the street, but I'm out of here. Follow me, What the Wrestling, on all my social media. Follow me, RJD. If you missed it, go forward. I will be going back to live streams, talking about the news on the weekend. So stay tuned for that. It's going to be awesome. As for me, I am out. Everybody be safe. I'm about to break my mic again. I'm out of here. Peace.
Dom DeMarco.